Hi everybody, it is Natasha Wilkinson here, your independent Sensi consultant from Bathurst, New South Wales. If you are new, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today, as I am filming this video, it is the 2nd of July, which means it is time to go through what I have been warming and what I have been using for the month of June. Now, here in Australia, it is winter. We did begin winter during June, which means you're going to see a lot of my club bars, you're going to see a lot of my winter scents. I am a very seasonal melter, and before I began my, winter warming at the beginning of June, I did pull up an inventory of just my winter wax. When I was doing that, I went through to see what I had in my Winter Sensi club, and I've been pushing that club and I've been pushing my hack club because of how much wax I do have, because I wanted to see exactly what I had that I would classify as winter wax if I were to let just one shipment come. There was over 100 bars of wax by the time I filled up a box of what would be my favorite winter scents that I actually still have in my club. So I didn't count that box of if I were to have it ship one shipment of my winter wax, because I just wanted to see what my shipment of winter wax would look like. So I haven't counted that box in my inventory or my winter plan, because my aim was to go through or try and get through all of my winter wax, or as much of my winter wax as I can before the end of winter, minus a one club shipment. And then after that, really look at my club and see what I wanted to keep, what I still enjoy, because I do have multiples of some scents from my club, and what I am actually using. So just to give you an idea of numbers and what my goals are over from the beginning of June until probably October or Halloween, because during Halloween, even though September, October, I am starting to reach for some of my spring scents, I'm still reaching for some of the wintry scents, because Halloween and Christmas time are usually the only other times of year where I break away from seasonal wax and like to warm things in accordance with my decoration and with my themes, and really enjoy the festivity of Christmas and Halloween. So I did have, to begin with, at the beginning of June, 250 bars, not including the 100 plus bars of wax in my winter club. So I really would have had 300, 400 and something bars of winter wax, but I'm not including my one club winter shipment. That is put aside separately to go through after I go through the rest of my winter wax. So I did have 250 bars. Now, based on the months I wore my winter wax, it brought my goal to, I would need to get through, if I were to get through all 250 bars without having any more winter scents come in, I would need to get through 50 bars of wax a month from now until October to go through those 250 bars of wax. Now, I actually got through in June, just in winter wax, scents that I would classify as winter wax, 28 bars of winter wax. I did actually warm through 34 bars of wax, so I wasn't far off the 50. I was about 15 off the 50, but 6 of those bars were from new collections. They were a little bit more summery. They were partial bars, so they weren't classified as winter bars. So I did kind of break through some of the summer, spring scents that, or the fresher scents that I do like to warm in the laundry, which is where it went up to 34 bars. And I also had another 5 partial bars that I've used for samples or for, which I haven't got all the way through. So that brought me basically 10 bars of a 50 bar goal, even though they weren't all winter wax. So that's just an idea. So I found it quite enjoyable actually having a goal to work towards too, and knowing I had to work towards that goal, even though I knew I probably wasn't going to reach that goal. But the fact that I got through 28 bars of wax from that stash brought it down from 250 to now the current number is 221 bars I have left of winter wax. That does not include my Winter Club shipment. And that's doable for me, because even if I get it down to under 50 bars at the end of winter, that's a nice amount for me to begin with for next winter without having to have a mass load of bars, and will then have me ready to focus on my clubs and see where I actually want to cut my clubs down to a decent level, because I would actually like to get my wax collection down to where I'm actually using it as I'm getting it in. I know I'm always going to have bars because I am a consultant. I'm always going to be buying the bars to review and to warm and change, but I want to get it down to a decent number where I'm not hoarding as much as what I'm currently hoarding. So without further ado, let's get into what I've been warming and enjoying for the month of June. So the last lot of bars that I did warm in June, just before July hit and I changed my wax bars out this morning, were Halloween Town. So these were put in the last couple of days of June in the open concept area. And I am starting with my open concept area. So for those of you who have been following along with me any amount of time, you know in my open concept area, I typically use up to 2 bars at a time, because my open concept area is my kitchen, my dining living room and office in one. So I will have 2 bars go through that area, sometimes 3 if I'm mixing scents, but typically it's 2 bars that will go through that area. So I did warm Halloween Town. It is a favorite of mine. It is a club bar. I typically go through a lot of this scent during winter, but they haven't brought it back for a while. I think it's been about 2 years now since they've brought it back, which means my 1 bar that I get every 3 months and that I've been pushing that club means that I think I'm down to 1 bar left of this. But typically I warm about 4 or 5 bars every winter, but I've only got 3 bars this winter. This to me is my really good wine scent. It's rich cranberries, it's spice, it's cedarwood, and you can smell that woodsy note. It's like a really good rich wine in a winery where you've got the wood barrels, or you've still got the corks. They're not screw top bottles, so you can still smell that woodsy note. Absolutely love this scent. Now, when I was putting this scent in my warmers, my daughter was like, "What's that scent?" And this was like within, I think, 5 minutes of this going into my warmers. So it only just started to pull out, hadn't even completely melted or pulled out. And she's going, "It's really strong, it's too strong." Now, I had to laugh, because if I have to put up with her warming roll of the dice from the Nightmare Before Christmas, she can put up with me enjoying Halloween Town during winter. So I did go through 2 bars of that. And then I went, so that was what I warmed pretty much at the end of June. So prior to that, I did warm 2 bars of The Villain's Just One Bite. To me, this is a beautiful apple scent. It does have molasses in it, which to me gives a bit of a bakery note. It's rich, it's sweet, baked bakery apple. Absolutely beautiful. Love this in winter. I also went through 2 bars of apple spice season. So this was new to the Harvest or Halloween collection last year, and it's apples and pumpkin. It's got a little bit of a bakery edge about it, but it's more cidery than bakery. And that pumpkin, I feel like adds a sweetness to the cidery note. Absolutely beautiful. This is another club bar for me, as is as is the Evil Queen Just One Bite. As I said, you're going to see a lot of my club bars in here because this is the time of year where I'm typically not really reaching for catalogue scents, because I'm reaching for the warm gourmand bakery. I'm reaching for your apple and spice, your cidery notes, the warm, rich, spicy scents that we don't get much in our catalogue. They tend to come through to us here in Australia as limited time collections, which means I tend to hoard them and club them so I can enjoy them in winter. Also from that same Halloween collection, we had cinnamon woods last year. I went through 2 of them, and this is just a very soft, sweet, cinnamon, woody scent. And it just hums really nicely in the open concept. Really, really enjoyed that one. And because I was doing a lot of your rich, heady, as you can see, notes that contain cinnamon or bakery, just to freshen up the house a bit and give myself a little bit of a break, I think partway through the month, I went through 2 whiteout. So this is trees, it's a little bit of apple, and it is mint. It was just a nice little break from all the warm woodsy, which I love in winter, but sometimes you just want a little bit of a break. You want something a little bit fresh. This is still wintry, but still perfect for that type of season. So I did go through 2 bars of whiteout. Then I went through 2 bars of Central Park pralines. I think this is one of the bakeries that I stupidly didn't end up clubbing. Not that I'm probably going to miss it, because I have a lot of bakery in my club, but I do really enjoy this, and given the opportunity, I would probably re-club it, because this is very nutty. It's very warm, nutty bakery. You definitely get that praline note. It's rich, it's gourmand, absolutely beautiful. So I did go through 2 bars of that. Then I did a combo, and I've got to be in the mood to melt this combo for me, and it's also got to be really, really cold. So then I did a combo, alternating warmers of Harry Potter's Gryffindor, Bravery and Determination, and apple s'mores. So this is a very woodsy combo. You get a very toasty, smoky note out of both Harry Potter and apple s'mores. The smoky note is a little bit sweeter and a little bit more of a marshmallowy, toasted note mixed with the sweetness of apples. And it's got a lot of scent notes in this, but it just adds a little bit of a sweetness to the very deep, heaty, smoky, woodsy note that you get from Bravery and Determination. So this is a very smoky, woodsy scent, and then it's got a deep, heaty cinnamon to it as well. These combined make a fantastic combination. One of my favorite combinations, but as I said, it's got to be very cold here, and we did have some very cold, rainy. We get -2 degrees Celsius, -3 degrees Celsius here in winter in Bathurst. And days like that, I absolutely love this going. I enjoyed it in Mount Isa, but now I've moved to a colder winter climate. It never got that cold in Mount Isa, but now it's a lot colder here in winter. This I found absolutely fantastic, but I do have to be in the mood to melt this combination. So I did also go through 2 bars of frosted cinnamon roll, and this is just a deep cinnamon. You get that bakery doughy roll with the cinnamon. Absolutely beautiful. Now the reason I did choose to do this, and I didn't actually do sticky cinnamon bun, which I probably will do sometime this month. I want to compare this with sticky cinnamon bun. I have both of these in my club, and I'm trying to decide in my winter club, and I'm trying to decide, do I want to keep both in my club, or are they similar enough that I can just keep one over the other? At this stage, I'm still steering more towards frosted cinnamon roll because it is slightly sweeter. I feel like the cinnamon in sticky cinnamon bun is a lot more spicier. And I'm feeling like I probably don't need both of them in my club. And it may come down to when I'm making winter club decisions, which one to keep out of the other between those two. At this stage, I'm thinking it's still going to be frosted cinnamon roll. So I think all of these bars that I've shown you so far, except for apple s'mores and Central Park pralines, I think they're the only 2 bars so far out of all of these winter bars that I've so far shown you, I have in my club. So all of these bars are winter club scents for me, and given the chance, I probably would club Central Park pralines and apple s'mores, which doesn't help in me deciding what I want to release from my club. It just makes me want to add more to my club, and that's not the point of me going through my winter stash and trying to work out what I really enjoy, because I love all of these scents. I do have a thing for rich, cloying bakery. This is my type of year. This is where I really do enjoy my wax, and I do find it easier to let go summer scents than I do winter scents. So the next combo I did, now these 2 I know I don't have in my club. One is because I accidentally lost it from my club. The other one I wasn't a big fan of, but now I am. So again, not helping me with club decisions, because one I would definitely bring back in a heartbeat if I could, because it is a heartbreak scent for me. It is a scent memory for me. But I did a combination of Buzzworthy and Crumb Top. Crumb Top is my heartbreak scent. I did have it in my club and accidentally deleted it out when I was doing some edits. And Buzzworthy, when it first came out of a scent of a month, I found it very rich and very too clean to me. You've got to love honey scents, and it is beautiful. You get the honey, you get the almond. It is a strong, strong performer. And by itself, it is, for me, quite cleanly. But I absolutely love it when I mix it with Crumb Top. You get like this beautiful honey oatmeal. So I kind of wish I had it just to do this combo. But neither of these are in my club. I am still hoarding, I think, 2 bars left of Crumb Top because I very sadly lost it. And I am going to try and warm them this winter because, well, it's no good having scents if you're not going to enjoy them. But again, will I warm more through or will I just get one more warmed and poured one? I do not know. And I think I've got another bar of Buzzworthy as well, which I picked up in a flash sale. But I did really enjoy that combination. Okay, so I have 2 more bars for the open concept area, and I actually did them when I was doing some brickwork as a combination. So let's talk about the bricks and the bars that I did together. So I did work on some of my brick of ghostly greetings, which I picked up years and years ago off Facebook. I think I picked it up off because it is not a scent that is available here in Australia. I think it's like a patchouli, it's meant to be plum. It's very dark, it's very deep and woodsy. Again, this is one of those scents that I enjoy, but I have to be in the mood to want to warm, and it's usually, again, when it's very, very cold, with how dark and deep and woodsy this scent is. So I think I had 2 other cubes here. So I think I got through 2 cubes in the open concept area, and because it is very deep and dark and rich and woodsy, I did alternate it with a bar of vanilla bean buttercream just to tone it down and to add a little bit of sweetness. So vanilla bean buttercream is just your rich, decadent vanilla bean buttercream. Frosting off a cake. It is a great mixer. There is a reason why this was our Thirst Inspirations collection that got released, because if you want to tone down a scent, this is a perfect mixer, and I always do keep a couple of bars on hand. It's beautiful by itself, but I do tend to, on the whole, like to mix it with a lot of things, and I do like to keep a couple of bars on hand if I'm playing with mixers and just want something as a base vanilla to work with. And then the other brick I worked on, so I only got through 1 3/4 or maybe half a cube from this brick, was candy apple. So this is a very tart green apple scent, and you do have that little bit of candy, sour candy note about it. It does have pictures of little caramel drops on there. It is very, very faint in the background, and I wanted to amp up the caramel. And if you did watch my winter brick stash, what I wanted to work on this winter, I said I wanted to try a couple of caramel mixes with candy apple to create a caramel apple scent, which we don't get here in Australia. So the first one I did try, because I do have quite a stockpile of this and it is in my club, was caramel sugar cone. So caramel sugar cone to me is a very syrupy caramel scent. It's not an ooey gooey chewy caramel. I get a very syrupy caramel scent. I get the hard glazed caramel that you dip your apples into that set. It's almost like a toffee caramel. And I do have this in my club, but I do have a stockpiling up, because this is very sweet and saturated. And as much as I enjoy it, again, like apple s'mores, like ghostly greetings, because of how sweet it is, I myself personally have to be in the mood to want to warm it. There have been times where I have considered taking this out of my club, and then like now I warm it and remember how much I actually do enjoy it. So I realize that if I'm not going to reach for these and warm these, it probably will have to come out of my club at some stage, because I think I've got 6 or 7 of these now. But again, when I want them, I want them. But I've just got to be in the mood to warm that particular scent. So that was what I got through in our open concept area. So now moving on to the pile of bars that this pile of bars here is what I got through in my bedroom. So And this is not the entirety of what I got through my bedroom, because I do have my summer bars, which we're going to talk about as well, which I think were a couple that I put in the bedroom as well. So I do have in my Hack Club Blonde Wood and Moonflower, and I hadn't warmed this in the longest time. I only had one bar. I tend to have a friend that enjoys this too and sometimes takes it, which is why I hadn't warmed it in the longest time. And I wanted to revisit it to see if this was one that I would release from my club, but I really, really enjoyed it. It is a sweet woodsy floral. Again, perfect for when you're over in winter, or your heaty cinnamons, your rich bakery, and you want something a little bit floral, but you don't want it summery floral. This to me is a perfect winter floral. It's probably going to stick around in my club for a little bit more, because sometimes I do crave a little bit of floral in winter, but it needs to be the right type of floral, because floral to me definitely does lean more spring than anything else. But if there's a woody note or a musky, ambery, perfumey note that's a little bit deeper, I find I can enjoy them in the bedroom or bathrooms in winter. Another one I got through in the bedroom was Boho. So this is one I didn't club. And this is like a plum and a cinnamon, but there's a sweet, I don't know if it's a floral note. There's something sweet and juicy in the background. So it's a perfect, to me, transitional scent. And again, it's one I really did enjoy in my bedroom. I think I've still got a few more from when it was a Bring Back by Barb, but it was one I don't think I ended up clubbing, because there were other plummy scents that I had in my club at the time that I felt like I didn't need that one. Would I change my mind? Quite possibly, because I do enjoy that in winter, where I'm looking for something a little bit fruity but that's not too heavy in spice. That is perfect. Spiced and Spirited. So this was from the Gaudy Goodness collection, which I had going in my bedroom, and this is beautiful, rich, sweet, buttery pumpkin. It's got a slightly masculine edge with that bourbon note and the cinnamon. Absolutely love this in my bedroom in winter. This is going nowhere. It is in my winter club. Another one that is not in my club that I kind of now wished was in my club, and I have been hoarding the last of my bars. I think I've got maybe 2 more bars left of this now. Stargazing. So this is another smoky, perfumey scent. Gives me lavendery vibes, but it's definitely got this smoky, sultry aspect about it. And again, it's one of those scents that I do need to wait to, for me personally, winter, to warm it when it's cold, because of that smokiness about it. But I do really do enjoy it. Then again, just to break up the more smoky notes, the more heady notes, I put a bar of Mint to Be Merry in my another club bar for me in my bedroom, and this is a sweet buttermint cookie scent. I love buttermint in winter, and particularly in my bedroom. I do find it quite soothing and calming. So I did revisit in my bedroom Hocus Pocus Perfectly Wicked. This is currently in my winter club. This is one I probably am going to take out of my club. I know there's a lot of hype about this, and I know a lot of people really, really love this set, but there are other plum woodsy scents that I just like more. And this has been likened to a very fancy perfume Do you think I can think of the name at the moment? If I were to buy that perfume here in Australia, it would cost me close to $1,000 because I have Googled the name of the perfume. I just can't think of the name at the moment. It will come to me at some stage. It has been likened to that and is apparently a dupe of that perfume. But I find, so it's not a plum scent, it's a cherry scent. I am even mixing the scent notes up here. I just find that there are other cherry scents I have plumbed for the bedroom that give similar vibes that I like a lot more than this personally. I don't hate this scent, but I'm just not in love with this. I'm just not in love with this scent like everyone else is. So I think I've got another bar which I will enjoy, but it's not one that I myself need to keep in my club. So warm, amber and plum. This was from, I think, the new season scents last spring, summer. And again, because I did throw it in my club because I hadn't really got around to warming enough times the new season scents to make up my mind just how much I enjoyed this. I knew I was going to enjoy it, but I didn't know whether I was going to love it or think it completely club worthy forever. I like it, but I did find it quite light. Saying that though, my hay fever was playing up at the time. So is it something I need to club? I'm hoping it will come back with our next catalogue season so I can take it out of my club and revisit it again. But again, I feel like there are other plum scents I prefer over this. So I may get, and I think this is in my hack club. So I may get another bar. Wait till I eventually ship that bar when I get down in my warming and actually use some of my stash up and actually let it ship. I may get another bar and then take it out of my club. I don't think for me this is one that's going to stay in my club forever. I feel like there are other scents that I would keep over this scent. One that I know will never ever leave my winter club is Honey Pear Cider. I actually love to warm this with Jack's Obsession, but it is also very, very beautiful on its own, which is what I did in this case and put in my bedroom. And it is a pear cider as opposed to an apple cider. There is this saturated honey sweetness with the pear, slightly warm, really, really beautiful, lasts for ages. So that was what I got through from winter, what I would classify as they're the 28 bars that I got through from my winter collection. But that's not where my melting ended. This next lot here that we're going to go through, I would not necessarily classify them as all wintry bars, but they were bars that either came through in collections that I wanted to try, or I had partial bars that I wanted to use up. Some of these, okay, so only one of them was in my bedroom. The rest were either bathroom, laundry or charge room. So let's talk about since we were doing bedroom ones with those ones. So the last one that I did do in my bedroom from that was Barefoot Beach. So this was a new scent this season. And it's got macadamia, it's got coconut, it's got an amber note to it. So it does lean a little bit to my nose, perfumey and masculine-y, but then you've got that sweetness from the coconut. This is nice. I do enjoy this, and I'm hoping it kind of continues through to summer, because I feel like I would enjoy this more in summer than I would in winter. It's a different take on our traditional masculine. It's not as cologne-y because there is that sweetness, but it's not bakery either. It's not like sandcastles. I definitely prefer sandcastles over this. I don't know for me that I would club this full time, but I know I definitely want to pick up a few more to try. So whether this is I'm going to stock up if it discontinues at the end of this catalogue season, pick up a few of them and risk it coming back, being a new season, or just put it in my cat club. I haven't quite decided on that one yet. Okay, so as I said, the rest of these were either laundry or bathroom or the kids' room. So this month's July scent of the month is Blue Skies and Bergamot. So I did make samples and I did warm this in the bathroom area. So if you like fresh, airy, slightly body washy cologne notes, you're going to like this. It does have a little bit of a watery, perfumey, fresh body wash type aspect to it with a airy quality. Slightly sweet, not quite cologne-y, but more like a body wash or a freshly showered man. I did quite enjoy this enough that I went and, because I really wanted the warmer behind me here, which is our warmer of the quarter for this month. I really wanted that warmer, and I enjoyed this enough that I would definitely warm through my scent of the month kit, which is 8 bars through summer. I just probably wouldn't club it because there are other watery, aquatic, sweet scents that I prefer a little bit more. But again, it was kind of like Barefoot Beach, where I want a few more, but do I feel the need to actually need it in my club? Then I had, I think, 1 or 2 cubes left of Black Raspberry Sangria, which is actually a catalogue scent at the moment. Originally was part of the Scentspirations Black Raspberry and Vanilla collection. This I have a bit of a up and down relationship with. The first days it's warming, it's a very beautiful, bright, for me, play on your tart and sweet, bubbly, effervescent-y, almost champagne-y, summery type scent. Strong performer, smells fantastic. Absolutely love the first day it's warming. Second day, you get more of the citrusy notes in it. It's not bad, but it leans a little bit more tartar than sweeter. And then the third day it becomes, to me, a little bit perfumey, which I enjoy again. So I do enjoy this scent, but again, not one that I feel I need to club full time. This for me is one of those scents that I'd pick up a few bars because I do enjoy it, particularly the first and third day. It's that second day where I need to get over the tart play. It's not bad, but it's a little bit too tart for me on the second day. Then I did in the laundry areas, sun-drenched cotton, which is part of our Island Day or New Summer collection. I enjoyed this. Not as much as I wanted to enjoy it, but I did enjoy it, and I have popped it into my, I think I popped it into my summer club for the time being, because it's a cotton with a coconut. I was hoping it to be a little bit like coconut cotton. It's not as sweet as coconut cotton because it does have a warmer woodsy note in it, but I think this to me is going to be a very nice transitional scent as we're coming out of winter into spring and summer, where I'm not quite into the fresh linen. It's sweet enough that I will enjoy this as a laundry scent. A lot of laundry scents are a little bit sharp and astringent to my nose, but this one does have a nice balance of the wood and the coconut that I enjoy. It's not as strong as I thought it was going to be, but I do quite enjoy it. Another new catalogue scent this season was Sweet Lime and Peach. I did have a few cubes left of this. I think I want this in the kids' room. I tried to enjoy this one, but it was a little bit too tart, sour to my nose. And I don't know if it was the combination of the lime with that. Sometimes peach can sometimes come across, peach I will either really like or it will have a really funky note about it, but again comes across a little bit astringent. So depending on how the peach is done, and I think it was that combination of the peach I didn't like with the tartness of the lime. There wasn't enough sweetness to counteract it. So I didn't hate it, but it's not a me scent. It's not one that I really loved either. So for me, this is not a club scent. It is not a repurchase scent. There's just something about that combination of peach and lime that just didn't meld with my nose. And then the last one was from our Desert Rains collection, Puddles and Petals collection. Cigarro Desert Rain. This to me was the masculine watery rain version. I think it had musk rocks, something like that. It was okay, but again, I preferred Quaint Country Rain from this collection out of this one. I do have another few bars because this was the one that was gifted to us in the whiff box, and I do get 2 whiff box every month. I also got one of the collection. So I do have another 2 bars of this particular scent, which I'll enjoy while I have. But for me personally, it's not one that I would want to club or grab any more of. So that was the wax bars that I got through. Let's delve into some other products, shall we? So I have almost finished up my large cotton cleanups and my small cotton cleanups. I typically do go through 1 of each pack a month, so I will need to pick up some more for this month because I've almost finished up the large and small cotton cleanups. We had some light globe changes out, and these are also a reminder for me to grab some more light globes because I think I'm out of my 25 watt globes, and I've got a few that still need changing and that they've blown. So the pink one came from my warmer over there, which I still need to buy another clear globe because I think I'm even out of the coloured globes. The one in the bathroom was also a 25 watt, that blue, and I did have a purple 25 watt. So that was a purple, our warmer of the quarter last year. It was a purpley warmer, so I just popped a purple globe in that one because that's what I had left. I had okay, so this is the one which I'm going to just show you. My Harry Potter book globe, which is on my desk. The light globe blue, like normal, but I think the light globe was faulty because if you can see that black mark there from the light globe when it blew, and consultant support were really good. They did replace the fixture for me. When it blew, as you can see, this is going to go in the bin after because they have replaced it, and they said I can just throw this out when I'm done. So they did replace the internal thing. It also blew in there as well. So that's just to show you what happened. So they did, because these come out now, all the internal things. So I did get a replacement for the internal thing for my warmer, and that can go now. So they replaced that and the globe for me. So my Harry Potter book's up and working, and I must have had another 25 watt globe blow somewhere else, because I've also got, oh, no, that's the box from that one. So no, I am up to date with my globes of what has blown through the house. So let's move on to pods, shall we? So we're just going to quickly revisit some pods I talked about last month, because I haven't changed them out yet. In both this purifier down here in the lounge room and in the office, I still have vanilla bean buttercream going, which we talked about in wax. I find this to be the perfect pods to put in those purifiers, because they go with whatever I am warming in the open concept area, which is quite often, and particularly in winter, your spice, your gourmand bakery. So they're not going to conflict with those type of scents going. Just a very nice, as I said, base vanilla. In the air quad, which I have yet to change out, and it's getting close to change out time with them, I've still got my cranberry pumpkin spice and cozy vanilla pumpkin going, which we did talk about last time. Again, these are just complementing really well with all the other spice and bakery scents, because it flows into the air quad when it's on high, will flow out of that little office and flow out into this room, particularly when the pods are fairly new. So again, these just complementing whatever else I've got warming. So some of the newer pods we can talk about. So I did take out the By the Sea pods from the laundry, and I have replaced them with Wild Seaside, which is from our Destinations collection. And this is a fresh scent that's got some green notes in it to my nose. It's not probably my least favorite out of the Destinations collection. I know a lot of people are really enjoying this, but there is a earthy green note that I am picking up that I'm not the biggest fan of, but I don't mind it in the laundry. I think it is the perfect scent for that. Not one that I would want to throw throughout my whole house, but it is a scent that I don't mind in the laundry or bathroom areas. And currently in my purifier in the bedroom, I do have black raspberry and vanilla still going, which was complementing really well with all the scents like your Hocus Pocus, your warm amber and plum. What else did I have? Boho. I had all those very deep dark berry scents for winter going last month in there, and I found that this was the perfect fragrance to complement my air purifier in that area. So I did get through a counter clean in Pink Sunshine. So this was from a limited time collection. We had this particular fragrance. I really enjoyed this in the cleaning. It was sweet, it was fruity, it was fresh. So I did finish that, and I've changed it out with the sun-drenched cotton from our current Destinations collection, which is what we're working on in counter clean at the moment. Now, I did use up some older testers. So in the bathroom area, I used up some Cloudberry Dreams. So again, this is one that's in my hack club that I'm trying to decide whether I want to keep it in my club or not. This one has raspberry and rose. I absolutely love this in the body care, and I love this in the laundry. I don't know that I'm the biggest fan of this in the wax. It comes across a little tart to me in the wax, and I think it's that mixture of I love rose scent and I love raspberry scent, but I think combined, I'm picking up a lot of the tart notes from both of those scents that you can sometimes get. Rose can come across quite heady and quite powdery, and raspberry by itself can come across quite tart. And I think combined, I get a very tart note, whereas I get more of a sweeter body care with the body care and the laundry. So I'm not sure how I feel about this in the wax. I feel like for me in the wax, it's one of those scents I've got to be in the mood to enjoy. And I do have a full bar of this, as I said, because it is in my club. But this is probably one that's going to be on the chopping block with my club. Saying that though, this is also one I know if I do chop, the likelihood of this ever coming back in and bring back my bar would be very scarce, because this is one of those scents that you either loved or you either hate. I loved it in other products. I just don't know that I love it in wax. And then I also warmed in my bathroom, Honeymoon Hideaway. So this is a bar I do have in my summer club, and it's a beautiful, sweet, tropical green floral. It is a lighter performer though. So I do have to warm it in bedroom areas if I enjoy it. And this discontinued last spring summer catalogue. So it has officially retired, and it was in our catalogue for the longest time. So this will probably stay in my club for a while, but I did want to warm up the tester I had because I do know that it is now officially retired. It did not come back. So I just thought I would work on some testers that are stockpiling up at the same time. And the last thing we're going to talk about are some oils. So I have one non-scentsy oil that I did in my diffuser and 2 scentsy oils. So peppermint and vanilla, so that was done in the open concept area, and it's just your beautiful basic peppermint scent. There is a slight sweetness from the vanilla. I feel like this is more peppermint forward than it is vanilla forward, but there is a slight sweetness that vanilla does give you. And then one of my favorite scents that I used to warm every Christmas time, actually I do have some more bars we're going to talk about after this too, was cinnamon and cherry and vanilla. This is just a beautiful sweet cinnamon scent, and then it's balanced with that fruity cherry. Absolutely fantastic. The non-scentsy oil I was diffusing was pecan pie from Dusk, which I was doing when I was warming Central Park pralines, just to add to that beautiful gourmand nuttery bakery. Now, the last lot of things, and I do promise it's the last lot of things because we're almost at an hour, which I forgot completely about, were some wax bars that I was warming or making samples out of, or a little bit of both, that I haven't completed. So these are, I opened but only partially through. So in the laundry area and in the bathroom area, as well in making samples, I did some Stitch Experiment 626. So this is beautiful, tropical, fruity, aquatic scent. So look forward to some of these samples in your Happy Mail, because I haven't sent my Happy Mail out for the month. I am getting there. I'm hoping to get it out within probably the next 2 weeks, to be honest with you. But I am getting there, and this was meant to go out in time for the fuzzies, which have now completely sold out. I did some Wear or Mad here in samples. The rest will probably go in my kids' room. This was the scent for me that sealed the deal with Scentsy Club and made me open Scentsy Club. It's this bubbly, fruity, raspberry, strawberry scent. Then I did some samples from the new Lilo and Stitch Aloha Venture. Think fruit punchy, think tropical fruit punchy. That's what you get with this. You get the pineapple, you get the fruit punch, you get the tropical. This will probably be finished off in my kids' room. Disney Angel Experiment 624. I did some samples with that one. This one is a beautiful strawberry milkshake. Again, very fruity, absolutely delicious. And I did some samples, and this will probably be finished off in the bathrooms and laundry. 100 Acre Wood. It's just this soft, beautiful floral cotton. Absolutely delicious. So that was what I got through for the month of June. I hope you enjoyed this video. Till next time, stay safe and bye for now.